Chandler's Retirement Life. It's a good life. I'm Chandler. I'm on a quest to produce my life legacy on videos. This is my third video. I'll link the other two in this video. Click on it if you haven't watched it yet and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of these videos. In my last video, I was in the second grade living on Jones Circle and I had an accident. I was crushed by a big boulder. It took a crane to lift the boulder and pull me out. I spent about 3 weeks in the hospital for fractured ribs. In this video, I have another major incident. So let's get into it. Life on Guam in 1965 was pretty mellow. I was 7 years old and in the third grade. I attended Tamuning Elementary School, about 4 or 5 miles from my house. So most days I rode the bus like everybody else. And in the third grade, I was kind of unfocused. I didn't care too much about what they were teaching me in school. But did anybody care in the third grade? The problem was it would become a trend for me. And I would continue that trend through high school. At the end of the school year, I was told that my ability to read was below average and that they were making me repeat third grade again. Oh no. The answer to the problem was that I needed glasses. So glasses I got. Repeating the third grade was not fun. All my friends moved on to the fourth grade and they kept asking me, what happened? I gave them the eyeglass story and life moved on. My friend circle began to expand as I branched out towards other streets in Jonestown. And then I became family friends for my brother and my sisters. The Villagomez family became my fishing friends. Frankie, he was one of my best friends. He taught me how to fish with a spear. He has passed on and is now with the Lord. But he'll always live on now that I'm mentioning him here. The Tenorios became good friends. John Tenorio taught me how to fish with a rod and reel. We would always go fishing for tataga and hang-on in Tumon on the reef. They lived right next door to the Villagomez, and behind both of them lived the Palaganes. Reynolds was a really good friend, and we would meet up again after high school while we were both in the Army and still communicate. The Santos family are also very good friends. Junior was a good fishing friend who passed during high school. We would always walk down to Alumpang Bay to catch ee. And then there was the Vega family, also became good family friends for my brother and I. I mention these families because they would become important pieces for me as I was growing up. Repeating the third grade got a little easier. My reading abilities improved, although school still sucked. I remember getting into a fight with another kid. And as I had him in a chokehold, the teacher kept yelling, "Let him go, let him go," which I did not, until she whacked my arm and I released him. Mom had to come bail me out of the principal's office. From that day, I was labeled a troublemaker, a hothead, or my favorite, a rebel. After that, more guys wanted to be my friends. The girls started noticing me. Then one day, someone entered a classroom after school hours and smashed the potted plants. Guess who they questioned the next day? Yup, that was me, but I didn't do it. One day after school, instead of riding the bus home, I decided to walk home. Can't remember why, but I'm sure it had to do with a girl. The walk home was not long, but the path took me through some undesirable areas. But I wasn't worried. I was a fast runner. Then everything was fine. When I got home, I just told my mom I walked home. She was very surprised. but just told me to be careful. The next day, I slept in, and when my mom woke me up and asked if I was okay, she asked if my legs were okay since I walked home the previous day. My first thought was, yeah, that's the problem. My legs hurt. She said, okay, why don't you stay home today from school? And Dad and I would check up on you at lunchtime. No school for me. Both Mom and Dad worked, so I had the whole house to myself. So what did I do? Watch a little TV, but not much on the 2 channels that we had. I remember taking out my BB gun and shooting birds through the screen windows. I think one of the BBs hit the neighbor's car window. Yipes! At lunchtime, I got back in bed and I waited for my mom and dad to come home. When they did, they asked me how I was doing. I tried to get out of bed, but I couldn't. I had a strong pain in my legs. I couldn't stand up. I wasn't sure what was happening. I was starting to get scared. Dad kept saying, don't lie, tell us the truth. And for some reason, I just couldn't walk or stand. They carried me and took me to the hospital. I was admitted to the hospital and they began running tests. Not again. So I'm not sure what the test results indicated, but Mom was telling me that they were going to operate on me. Something to do with removing veins. I had no idea what she was talking about. She said that they heard a heart murmur and that might be part of the problem. So in the hospital, they would put a sign on your bed which indicated that the person was having surgery in the morning and not to feed them. At least that's what I thought. The sign was at the end of my bed. I remember going to sleep that night thinking they were going to operate on me in the morning. But when I woke up, nothing. They ran some more tests and said that what they saw earlier had disappeared. My issue was gone. I would spend several more days in the hospital doing exercises before they would release me. Back to school, my friends, and mischief. What was the lesson? What was that all about? Well, after pondering it for a long time, I figured I'm never going to lie again. So I graduated from the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade at Tamuning Elementary. Or during the 5th grade, after school, I had to attend Catholic religious education, which we called catechism. And it led to my confirmation. I also played baseball for the Tamuning team. I played second base and sometimes right outfielder. I was okay. I never hit a home run, but it was fun. I was also in the Boy Scouts until one day there was a dance at the church. And the Boy Scouts, they also had a project to do. Which event do you think I attended? Of course, the dance. The scoutmaster came to my house to speak with my dad. And so I had to pick one activity, baseball or Boy Scouts. So I picked baseball. In the Boy Scouts, we did a lot of fun things. We had a 3-day camping and hiking to Talafofo Falls. That was fun. A lot of outdoor landscaping work like, cleaning trash in vacant areas and lots, mowing people's lawns, which gave me the idea to mow some lawns in my neighborhood to earn money. And I got that business going. More about that later. Then the big day came when we graduated and started the 6th grade in another school in another village, Dededo Junior High School. So come back to hear the stories about my basketball career. You're going to like that. Chandler's Retirement Life. It's a good life. Subscribe.